It's been 5 years since 2 million subscriber YouTuber EDP445 was caught in a predator sting operation, a moment that became one of the most infamous incidents in YouTube history. During the confrontation, he famously claimed he was there to pick up a cupcake.
Oh, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake.
A line that instantly became a meme and cemented his online downfall. In the aftermath, EDP lost everything. He became a laughingstock overnight, and for many people, the face of online predators on YouTube. One of many. Most people in that position would disappear from the public eye, try to rebuild their lives in public, and be grateful they avoided prison. EDP chose a different path, from attempting comebacks on obscure platforms, to issuing an apology and then quickly walking it back, to repeatedly finding himself in similar situations and getting exposed all over again. EDP has become a textbook example of someone hitting rock bottom and somehow continuing to dig deeper. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we're going to cover the many failed attempts at a comeback from EDP, as well as what he's been up to recently. If you enjoy these types of videos, make sure to subscribe. With that being said, let's get right into the video. It's hard to imagine someone that hasn't at least heard of EDP, but I suppose it's a remote possibility. For those of you that are uninformed, EDP, short for Eat Dat 445, exploded in the 2010s through loud rants about the Philadelphia Eagles, alongside his love for poop and goo. Probably his most famous rant that you will most likely recognize is his Good Evening Twitter video.
Good evening, Twitter. This is your boy, Eat That 445, and about like 30 to 45 minutes ago, I beat the out of my so hard that I can't even feel my left leg. My left leg has went totally numb, and my has also went totally numb to the point to where it feels weird when I go and take a piss.
Videos like I flooded the toilet at Chipotle and best beat your to spread far beyond his core audience. His fans saw him as a walking meme before the term was even overused. As his audience grew, so did the attention. He even crossed paths with Tyler, the Creator. By the late 2010s, EDP had become one of YouTube's most recognizable personalities, despite never really changing his formula. Looking back though, there were warning signs that many viewers dismissed as part of the character. His content was often hyper and his behavior could be erratic. In a 2020 livestream, he even suggested that if he were president, relationships between adults and minors should be legal.
Video called The Laws That I Would Enforce If I Were President of the United States. And one of those laws are, this is going to be hella controversial, one of those laws are, if you're under the age of 18 and you're a chick and you get with a guy that's over the age of 18, it's consensual, dog.
At the time, comments like these were often brushed aside as another example of EDP saying outrageous things for attention. Then the allegations started. Private messages allegedly involving EDP began circulating online. YouTuber Cold Raven released evidence and later ran a series of videos documenting interactions using an underage decoy with him. EDP responded with defensive videos of his own, including one that reportedly blamed underage girls for seeking attention. Instead of making the accusations disappear, the responses only drew more scrutiny, and everything came crashing down in April 2021. A predator hunting group led by Alex Rosen, then operating under the Predator Approaches brand, conducted a sting operation using a decoy posing as a 13-year-old girl named Sophie. According to the released chat logs, EDP exchanged dozens of messages containing explicit content before agreeing to meet her in person. The meeting took place in a parking lot in Bakersfield, California. When confronted on camera, EDP admitted he was there to meet the girl, but repeatedly tried to explain himself. During the exchange, he claimed he had only come to get a cupcake.
Oh, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake.
That single line instantly became one of the most infamous memes in YouTube history. The confrontation video spread everywhere. Most notably, Charlie, aka Most Critical, would cover this situation, and his initial coverage would blow this up into the mainstream. Currently, his first video has 22 million views. This truly was a cultural moment for anyone that had any remote interest in commentary on YouTube. Hell, even people that had zero interest had at least heard about it a little bit. it. Those who followed him for years watched in disbelief as one of the platform's biggest personalities unraveled in real time. EDP immediately privatized his videos and effectively disappeared from the internet overnight. YouTube permanently terminated both his channels and backup accounts. Alex Rosen's channel was also removed the same day. Law enforcement opened an investigation, but no criminal charges were ever filed, and critics argued that the vigilante nature of the operation severely damaged any potential case. As a result, EDP walked away without prosecution, though the court of public opinion had already delivered its verdict. Chris Hansen, famous for To Catch a Predator, publicly offered EDP a chance to sit down and explain his side of the story. EDP considered the interview more than once, but ultimately declined. Most people assumed that after being caught in one of the most public internet scandals of the decade, EDP would disappear for good. Instead, he did the exact opposite. Within days of the confrontation video going viral, he was already talking about a comeback. Rather than addressing the allegations head-on, EDP uploaded videos to Facebook announcing that he was moving his content to a personal website. He insisted that the EDP movement wasn't over and framed himself as someone who had been unfairly targeted.
It was cracking with it. It's your boy, and eat that 445. So just want to let you guys know, man, EDP445.com is coming soon. Been about like a week, maybe 2 weeks from now. I'm gonna have a website up and popping and shit, you know. That's where I'm gonna be posting all of my new videos and shit, over there up on the website. You know what I mean? Continuing to eat that movement, letting ass motherfuckers feel it, and straight whipping our fucking cocks out and pissing all over motherfuckers, you feel me? So with that being said, man, EDP445.com, it's coming soon. This website is gonna be fucking crack-a-lacking. Fuck you know about that, boy.
To many viewers, it was surreal. One of the biggest scandals in YouTube history had just unfolded, and his first instinct seemed to be figuring out how to stay online. That would become a recurring pattern. Every time a platform removed him, he immediately looked for another one. He tried Vimeo, and the account was quickly suspended. So then, he created a new YouTube channel called The Notorious EDP. Before it was terminated, he uploaded videos showing off his firearms collection and talking about his situation. The channel was removed almost immediately. He made a backup account and that got removed too. He moved to 3Speak and that account disappeared once moderators became aware of who he was. At one point, he even attempted a political stunt, filing paperwork to run as a replacement candidate during California's gubernatorial recall election. The campaign went nowhere and he never appeared on the ballot, but it reinforced the growing perception that EDP was willing to try absolutely anything to stay relevant. While he was desperately hopping between platforms, his personal life was reportedly falling apart. His income had largely vanished, sponsorships were gone, his YouTube career was over, and according to accounts from the time, he bounced between jobs in trucking and fast food, but struggled to keep steady employment because people kept recognizing him. Even a brief attempt to drive for Lyft reportedly ended after passengers identified him and complaints followed. The internet had effectively turned him into radioactive material. Any company associated with him risked immediate backlash. As the situation worsened, EDP eventually left Bakersfield and relocated to the Las Vegas area. Around the same period, he even filed paperwork attempting to legally change his name. The change never actually went through, but many saw it as another sign of his deteriorating mental state. By 2022, he was running out of mainstream options. With YouTube, Twitter, and most major platforms closed off to him, he migrated to Go Live. The move didn't exactly revive his career. Most streams were flooded with trolls, critics, and people mocking him. Instead of rebuilding a loyal audience, he became something of a spectacle to throw peanuts at.
Why did you come to Bigo?
What Bigo?
This app.
Oh, you mean Bigo? Oh,
Yeah.
you know what you're talking about?
Yeah. Like, you can find some bad on here too, bro. You can find some bad bit.
Listen, man, I'm cool on that bullshit.
So you don't want what you want, kids?
Block him. He's gone. Get him out.
You bad, you big ass. Just don't make that shit the fuck up. You peanut head ass. But you like touching on little kids. You want a cupcake? You want a cupcake? Face nasty big ass. You nasty big ass. You wanna touch me next?
Around the same time, he managed to find an audience on TikTok. Unlike YouTube, where the cupcake incident was impossible to escape, TikTok's younger user base seemed far less familiar with his history. By focusing heavily on football content, especially around the Super Bowl, EDP quietly rebuilt a following that grew into the hundreds of thousands. For the first time since the sting, it looked like he might actually pull off a comeback. To prevent criticism from dominating his posts, he frequently disabled comments. Even then, many viewers were shocked that someone whose reputation had been so thoroughly destroyed could regain any audience at all. His biggest project during this period was launching his own website. The logic was simple. If every platform kept banning him, he would create a space where nobody could remove him. The site allowed him to upload content directly to his audience without relying on YouTube or social media companies. Using an older account, EDP quietly returned to YouTube and rapidly gained roughly 20,000 subscribers in just a couple weeks. It was proof that despite everything, a portion of his audience was still willing to support him. The comeback lasted about 2 weeks before YouTube terminated the channel for ban evasion. Following his permanent TikTok ban in early 2023, EDP retreated from the mainstream platforms and shifted his focus to his personal website, even going as far as to sell off personal possessions, including his YouTube play buttons. Not long afterward, he attempted to rewrite the narrative surrounding the 2021 Predator sting by claiming the entire incident had been a setup and that his responses during the confrontation were merely part of an audition for a movie role. The supposed interview supporting his claims was exposed as fake, relying on a text-to-speech voice impersonating Barack Obama, and an online poll he created to gauge public support for his innocence received just 13 favorable votes out of more than 4,200 responses before it was quietly deleted.
He had his business card attached to the email.
Okay, and that was shortly after the movie, maybe next year or so. You put kind of 2 and 2 together and everything aligned to this actually being an opportunity for you.
Correct, yes.
Okay, so Chet emails you and tells you to meet him at the apartment complex? I'm sorry, maybe I'm not understanding.
Well, again, the original meetup spot was at the Rite Aid.
In what f***ing solar system would someone be so stupid as to get a random email from someone claiming to be a movie producer who just reached out to you with a cold call saying, hey, your performance in this documentary was superb, spectacular stuff. Come meet me at a Rite Aid where I'm going to have you play a predator.
As the year progressed, he made another effort to repair his public image by releasing what he described as an official apology and speaking about redemption. The statement, however, focused almost entirely on the impact the controversy had on his friends and family rather than on the people he had targeted. He avoided directly addressing the sting operation, the allegations against him, or the emails he had previously claimed would prove he was set up.
Yeah, I just wanted to come on here and, offer this apology video to my friends, to my family.
Many viewed the video as an attempt to rebuild his online presence rather than a genuine act of accountability, a perception that only grew stronger when he walked back the apology entirely just weeks later. If you thought EDP was done allegedly trying to meet up with minors, then you're in for a big surprise. Before the end of the year, YouTuber Gideon would release a video catching EDP again in the act of allegedly trying to meet up with a 15-year-old this time. In it, Gideon dresses up as a cupcake in reference to the viral meme, and EDP seems to be having none of it.
We didn't get to say much to Bryant. He just walked into his appointment as I expected. Well, Bryant, I just want to know, why do you think we're here? If you could guess, Bryant, why do you think we're here?
By 2024, EDP's website briefly disappeared after he stopped paying the Shopify fees, though it later returned. Around the same time, photos surfaced showing him with Boogie2988 during the filming of a documentary by filmmaker Mike Klum that focused on the controversies and allegations surrounding him. The project immediately sparked debate over whether documenting his story amounted to giving him an undeserved platform. Okay, so tired of the questions, so gonna answer them all as best I can can hear without breaking NDA. Yes, this is me and EDP445. Yes, it's real. This is a film set for a Mike Klum documentary. No, we weren't hanging out, we were filming a doc in this photo. Yes, we discussed the horrible shit he has done in the past. No, it won't be on my channel. No, it's not a fluff piece designed to make him look good, you doofuses. The doc will likely drop by summer on the Mike Klum channel. Yes, I knew the optics of this and how people would accuse me of PDF. But I am not a PDF, so I don't care. Yes, I was compensated for travel and expenses to be in this thing. The documentary still has yet to be released, so it's safe to say that whatever he said in this interview was bad enough to be never shown the light of day. EDP's most significant comeback effort emerged later that year, when he revealed a YouTube channel he had quietly created long before making it public. The channel cycled through several identities, including the OG 445, Big Cheese, Eat That 445, and eventually the infamous EDP. Once he began uploading regularly, he framed himself as a victim of YouTube's enforcement actions and used that narrative to attract an audience. The strategy proved to be more successful than any of his previous attempts, with the channel gaining thousands of subscribers in a matter of days, and eventually growing it into the tens of thousands, making it his most successful return since his original downfall. As the channel gained momentum, EDP released a video titled "Mistakes Were Made," presenting it as a statement of accountability. Yet, within moments, it became clear that the video was not an apology in any meaningful sense. He insisted he did not owe the public an emotional display of remorse, argued that any responsibility he had was limited to friends and family, and ultimately shifted the blame towards the minors involved in the allegations against him. You heard that right. He blames the minors for being at fault for messaging him.
I also feel minors should get in trouble for messaging adults. You feel me? Having a very malicious intent behind their messages. Let's not make the video then. Oh, you need to take accountability and responsibility. You need to cam up and address your fans. The only people that I need to address are my friends and my family members that I hurt deeply by my actions.
By 2025, the majority of EDP's online career had largely turned into a game of whack-a-mole. Every time one account disappeared, another would appear in its place, usually only lasting a short time before being removed as well. One of the more notable developments came when he joined Cameo, offering personalized videos ranging from birthday messages and insults to life advice for a fee. The move immediately drew criticism from drama channels and viewers who argued that people should not be financially supporting him. Despite numerous reports, Cameo ultimately stated that it found no reason to take action, allowing his account to remain active still to this day. Around the same period, his most successful comeback channel, the infamous EDP, finally came to an end, after surviving for roughly 7 months, far longer than any of his previous attempts. The moment it was terminated, he launched another channel under the familiar EDP name. That account lasted less than a week before it was removed as well. You get the idea. Repeat a few more times. The pattern continued for the rest of the year. A steady stream of burner accounts appeared and vanished almost as quickly, each struggling to gain any meaningful audience. By the end of 2025, his remaining online presence had shrunk dramatically. His active channel reportedly had fewer than 2,000 subscribers, and most uploads were drawing only a few thousand viewers. The final video associated with that period was reportedly uploaded in late October and centered on an unusually personal story involving a self-inflicted injury. Yet, even after years of bans, failed comeback attempts, and repeated controversies, 2026 would prove that EDP had no intention of disappearing from the internet. At the start of 2026, EDP returned to YouTube once again, and tried a strategy he had already tested on TikTok, strictly sticking to football content. He announced that he was going to keep everything family-friendly from that point forward, which is a pretty wild statement coming from someone with his history. The crazy part is that it actually seems to be working. After posting on an alternate channel and getting banned yet again, EDP somehow managed to appeal one of his old channels and get it reinstated. That's right, YouTube brought back his old-school EDP channel, and he's still uploading to it today. In fact, as of writing this, he posted a new video video just yesterday. Looking at the channel now, most of the content is just sports commentary, along with the occasional clip of him showing off his guns and trying to come across as a tough guy. The biggest question is how he managed to get reinstated in the first place. The leading theory is that YouTube's newer moderation systems simply don't recognize who he is. From the algorithm's perspective, it sees a channel posting football videos and following the rules, so it doesn't flag anything as a problem. Personally, I recently experienced the opposite problem, where my second channel, where I compiled my own videos, was flagged for impersonating myself. This was due to YouTube implementing new AI systems that decide whether channels can exist or not. So it's entirely possible that YouTube's new AI system, that has been extremely controversial for demonetizing real creators, has accidentally just allowed EDP to now exist again on the platform. Obviously, this isn't exactly how you'd want to end a video about someone who has faced serious allegations involving minors. In the past, EDP always seemed to be lying low while his situation continued to spiral, so it's frustrating to see him somehow pull off a major win. After spending so much time researching him, the best comparison I can make is that he's like a cockroach. No matter how many times he gets knocked down, he always finds a way to stick around. He'll endure just about any amount of humiliation, if it means staying relevant and continuing to make money online. And honestly, the logic makes sense. It's hard to imagine him holding a normal job, because the moment people recognize who he is, his past would likely follow him. As a result, the internet is pretty much the only way he can continue to make a living. That's why it's so frustrating to see his Cameo account and now his YouTube channel still active. Whether you agree with me or not, I think most people can agree that someone with his history probably shouldn't have a platform online. Yet somehow, he continues to slip through the cracks. Maybe it's because enough time has passed that these platforms no longer see it as a priority. Maybe they simply don't care. And maybe Critical needs to make another video talking about him so people are aware that he's still active. Either way, perhaps bringing more attention to it will push YouTube and Cameo to take another look at the situation. So, if you can, drop a like on the video, leave a comment for engagement, and share it with someone you know. Whether anything actually changes or not remains to be seen. But for now, EDP will likely keep doing what he's always done, creating new accounts, finding new platforms, and making money anywhere that allows him to stay online. If you want to hear about more YouTube click the video on screen.